This is the story of Wapiti. We are flying into Curacao for our first meeting with what is going to be our new home. But wait a minute, let's rewind a couple of months. We had dreamed of sailing around the world for years. Things were sorting out back home. All we needed was a boat. We had some criteria. We wanted a center cockpit, aft cabin, 40-something feet, and hopefully in Europe somewhere. There are so many boats for sale, which makes it hard to pick out the good ones. But in the end, we found what we thought was the perfect boat for us. A Beneteau Oceanis 44 feet center cockpit. We spent a week testing it out in Tenerife, and we were ecstatic. But the deal fell through and the search resumed.
As luck had it, a friend of the family was considering to sell his boat in the Caribbean. So we left the Norwegian winter behind and went over to take a look.
It wasn't a center cockpit. It wasn't 40-something feet. It wasn't in Europe, and it certainly wasn't in our original budget. But we needed a reset and fell in love with the idea of a catamaran.
This was a Lagoon 380 that had crossed the Atlantic the previous season. The owner happily showed us all the upgrades and technicalities they had made to make it a safe and comfortable cruising catamaran. Being on the Heart for 6 months and prepared for storage, we could unfortunately not test the boat out on the water. So we spent the rest of the trip exploring Curacao.
The country of Curacao is a constituent country of the Kingdom of Netherlands, and is one of the ABC Islands in the Lesser Antilles. Willemstad is the capital of Curacao and is a vibrant and colorful city. One of the main attractions of Willemstad is when the floating bridge connecting Punda and Trabanda opens up to let ships pass through, coming in or out from the sheltered Schuttegat.
We left Curacao with the dream of one day owning a catamaran, and agreed with the owner that we were allowed to come back and try the boat at sea. So a few months later we returned to Curacao to try out the boat. Being in storage for more than a year, there was some work to be done in order to prepare the boat for sailing. As this was a new experience for us, we had some challenges and of course we made some mistakes. Luckily, other cruisers in the marina helped us out.
Put that through there, tie a bowl in.
After a few days of swearing and sweating in the marina, we were ready for our first sail.
Setting the sails for the first time, not knowing if we had put the lines and sails on the right way, was a bit unnerving. But it worked, and we could set our course for Klein Curacao. We quickly learned that cruising in the Caribbean is not only white beaches and cocktail drinks. And on our first sail, we had both the wind and current against us. After a few hours of sailing upwind, we ended up motoring to make it in time for sunset. Klein Curacao is a small island with a lighthouse, a shipwreck, a nice sandy beach, and lots of turtles. Sailing to a remote island like this was a dream come true for us. After our first night at sea, we lifted the anchor and set sail for Bonaire.
Due to the proximity to Venezuela, the Coast Guard is constantly patrolling the seas around the ABC Islands, looking to stop piracy and drug trafficking. We must have looked suspicious since they orbited us for many minutes and started hailing us on Channel 16. A few hours later, we finally made it to the paradise that is Bonaire. Bonaire is the smallest of the ABC islands. We moored the boat at the town they call the capital, and from here everything was just a dinghy ride away. Bonaire is famous for the life underwater, and the sea surrounding Bonaire is actually a national marine park. Driving home in the dinghy wasn't always a favorite. They are doing a great job protecting and preserving the area around Bonaire, and now have some of the healthiest coral in the whole of Caribbean. To fully experience the amazing underwater world, we rented some diving gear and went diving every day for a week. We also found time to enjoy some happy hours and sunsets with fellow cruisers and other divers.
After a week of diving, we were ready to explore Bonaire without the mask. We rented a car with some boat neighbors and we drove around the entire island, where we saw flamingos, salt flats, the old slave accommodations, I went on a hike to the top of Bonaire, the Mount Brandaris at incredible 240 meters height inside the Washington Sagbai National Park. Bonaire is a tiny island with lots to offer. We really enjoyed our time here and hope to come back someday.
We end our journey by sailing the boat back to Curacao, which was an amazing downwind sail completely different from the sail to Bonaire. When returning to Willemstad, we had spent 3 weeks aboard the boat, and we were all smiles. We had gotten a great taste of the cruising lifestyle, and the boat was perfect for it. Now we just needed one of our own.
Back in the marina, we prepared the boat for hurricane season and haul her out. Oops!
After a few weeks back in Norway, the owner decided he wanted to sell the boat to us, and within months we were boat owners.
Our dream was now a reality, and that's the story of how we got our boat. Next on Sailing Wapiti, we prepare ourselves and our boat and we set sail on our new adventure.